Alright. Let's play with the Boomstik today. Boom, baby. Wait. What? It's not the Boomstik. What's up, guys? Welcome back to SMASHPB. Thank you for watching today. Really do appreciate you guys coming back to the channel and showing your love and support. We got some stuff to get into today. All right. Now, I should disclose by saying that my RPM Q2 paddle is weighted, okay, to my preference. And that might have influenced the way it sounds a little bit. But let me tell you something. When I played with this paddle, I could not tell the difference in feel or performance over this. The Boomstik, Selkirk Boomstik. Which, if you know the backstory on the RPM Q2, might make a lot more sense. So, for those of you who don't know, James Ignatowicz, owner operator of RPM Pickleball, he co-designed this with John Q, who we all know and love. Absolutely amazing pickleball paddle reviewer, absolute nerd when it comes to breaking down, what a paddle does, how it performs, what it's made of, why, material choices, blah, 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 blah. So it's no wonder why James Ignatowicz wouldn't want somebody with vast knowledge and extreme interest, shall we say, in the construction of paddles as John Q does. Okay, why wouldn't you want that guy co-designing a paddle with you? In fact, many paddle companies have reached out to John Q in the past, and he's always turned them down. For whatever reason, he decided to say yes this time, and here we are. This is the love child. So, I'm just going to summarize it by saying this. This is basically a tunable Boomstik without any kind of durable grit. I think those are the two important and main distinctions when you're comparing it to the Boomstik. But performance-wise, until the grit wears down on this thing, they're nearly identical. I would even say they are identical, especially once you get it weighted up the way you want. Anywhere close to the 3 and 9 position, the MOI tuning weights on the Boomstik are a little bit heavier, quite a bit heavier than the, 3 grams per side that I have on this guy. But the sweet spot is marginally less than the Boomstik. I think the Boomstik does a slightly better job of covering the sweet spot just a little bit lower on the face, where on the RPM Q2 foam paddle, you do lose a little bit as you get a little closer to the bottom there, as compared to the Boomstik. Okay, but other than that, pop, same. Feel, same. Power, same. Pockety feel, same. They both don't really have much for dwell time at all. At least I don't feel it, but they do pocket the ball quite nicely. And I used to think that the pocketing was a dwell thing, but it really wasn't. It's definitely a very different feel. And the way John Q describes it is a taco type cradling the ball, if you will, a taco type deformation. So as the ball goes into the paddle, ball, paddle, it does, you know, if you're this way, it kind of does this, like a taco. Okay. Obviously, you'll never see it with the naked eye, but that's the general engineering idea behind this. How that makes it perform any different than this, I don't know. I had the same control issues with the RPM Q2 as I did with the Boomstik, and that is because of the pop and power. Out of both of these guys, I had more of a tendency to pop up the ball and get smashed in the face by my opponent. Okay, now apparently John Q has this ungodly amount of touch, and he thinks that controlling the Boomstik is not a problem. The man is an outlier in so many different ways I can't even begin to describe it. Definitely most of it in a good way. But John, I don't imagine in any way, shape, or form you ever watching my show, but if you do, I don't know how you figured that this guy is controllable, because it's very clear that you've imparted a lot of the feel and playability from this into this, which makes a lot of sense because you really like your Boomstik. It's still your main. So that says a lot about the design philosophy behind the Q2. But other than that, it's a great paddle. Boomstik is a great paddle too. If I would say, you know, this is what I've noticed, okay? Among the more senior players, or maybe even young kids that don't have a lot of strength or haven't fully developed their strength, a lot of them will play with the Boomstik. I see a lot of older players playing with the Boomstik because they just can't, you know, swing at the ball as hard as they used to, which is totally understandable. This might be a good option for you, and definitely less expensive. You know, you're in the $250 range here, and you're, you know, over $333 on the Hesacore Boomstik. And there's no real discount code for that. You get a, you know, gift card, but you can definitely get, you know, discount codes for the RPM paddle, which brings it down closer to the 220 range, right? So anyways, it's a fantastic paddle. It's a little too much for me to handle, just like the Boomstik. I'll probably still play with it once in a while because it is fun to play with if you're feeling confident and a little bit wily, just like I would grab the Boomstik if I'm having, you know, if I'm fresh and confident and able to impart a few more RPMs on the ball that day than I normally would, then controlling the Boomstik becomes a little bit easier. But then once you get up to the net and you're dinking and your pressure's building because the point is going longer, it's a few shots in, and then pop it up, smash in the face. At least for me, okay? Maybe I just don't have the sensitivity level to control something like this or a Boomstik. But it is fun. It is fun. I wouldn't mind trying singles with something like this because I think this would be a much better singles paddle for me than it would be a doubles paddle. So, anyways, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you for joining me. I don't have any of my own personal discount codes for either one of these paddles. I bought these both with all of my own money. So, use one of your other favorite creators, content creators codes for now until maybe I get an affiliate for one of these or both of these. But anyways, thank you for the support nonetheless. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. You can definitely do that to show your support if you haven't already. And until next time, see you then.